is the only space where we're securing the perimeter and securing the bag. I'm your host, T, and I've spent all day pulling Cat 6 wire yesterday, mounting 4K cameras. I'm telling you, this is what I do. Tony, he's our guest as well. He does the same thing. I know he's shaking off ceiling tile dust off his shoulders. And not only we're two black African American technicians, but we're in that living sweet spot where electronic security meets economic security. So we're here to talk numbers, So let's go ahead and get in the bag. So Tony, what's going on, man? How you doing? What's going on?
Hey
Hustle
man,
bustle.
I'm doing great, man. But it's funny. You echoed exactly what I was doing yesterday, shaking ceiling tile dust off me for mountain fire alarm stuff. So we got
Tell me about it.
big project. So it's like, man, we definitely in the same world.
Yeah, yeah. We know how to wire the facility and keep the bad guys out, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But we're here to open up doors for people's financial future. So
That's right.
we're gonna get right into it though. We got some dimes over here. Tony wanted to kind of educate our audience on. It's a Saturday. I know it's cold out here in Virginia. I don't know what's going on. How the weather over there in Alabama, Hustle? What's going on with you over there?
Man, first of all, man, shout out to y'all, man. Like I say, this launching the Financial Tech Talk, y'all got the studio. Shout out, hey, the banner is fire, the background drop is fire, the logo is fire. Um, and I'm proud to be part of this show with two intelligent guys breaking down financial, anything from governments to housing markets, man. So I appreciate that. But hey, the weather's pretty nice, man. I actually went outside today, man, with a short sleeve on. It warmed up a little bit. We've been dealing with snow for about 2 weeks, which is crazy and rare for down here in South Alabama, right here by the Florida state line. But right now the weather's turning around. It's getting warmer. It's in the 60s right now. So it's pretty good right now, guys. I can't complain. I'm enjoying myself.
Well, shoot, I tell you what, when the weather's getting nice and stuff like that, Tony has some stuff he want to talk about, man, to
Yeah.
to help these vacationers. Because I know over here, we living out here in the Virginia Beach area. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people that come from out of town. They want to, tour around, and so he has something that he want to share with y'all. But before we even go into that, can you go into that media asset real quick?
Yeah,
And play that.
I got you. Matter of fact, let's hop into it, guys.
I'll
Here we go.
do it.
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
There you go, guys.
No. This is the groundwork. I don't know how you feel about the housing market right now, Tony. I know things have kind of been topsy-turvy under this administration and things like
Hmm.
that. But can you share with the audience as far as your journey and what you're doing right now in this sector, which is real estate?
Sure. So first thing is though I don't agree with a lot of things that Trump says, I do agree with that that media asset you just showed. I do agree that housing prices need to stay steady and they need to go up because for homeowners like myself and a lot of other people, a lot of our wealth is in ownership of those homes. Equity that we build from making your mortgage payments and owning more and more of the house, uh, that is money that you can use for other things. And if the value of your home drops, then that means that if you can't, it's hard. You can't really borrow against money that you don't have as far as equity. So I do agree with that part, and there is other ways in which new homeowners can purchase homes. So and one of those things is lowering interest rates. So right now, I know it's in, depending on where you are, but it's around 6.5 to 6.7, 6.8% right now. And with a conventional loan, that is a heavy burden on a person who's buying their first home. However, there are many uh, uh, housing, not, I wouldn't call them vouchers, but there's opportunities to buy, for first time homeowners to purchase homes where they can use a lot of government assistance. Like they have Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They have a couple of other programs in which first time home buyers can buy homes, and they can, with very low down payments. And that's the biggest part of it is, a lot of people can't buy homes because they can't come up with that initial down payment. And it could be a heavy financial burden to raise $20,000-$30,000 if you're not making, you're barely making enough just to pay your day-to-day bill. So I do feel like we do need to come up with something that can help. And there are programs out there, like I said before. So, but one thing I wanted to get into.
Hey, before we
Sure.
hop in, before you about to get into, because you said something interesting. You said you
Yeah.
kind of agree with them, but then you kind of don't.
Right.
Um, I'm on both sides with that because
Hmm.
I feel like, yes, I want homeowners to be able to, get the money, the value of their house and stuff. And I think that's very important to homeowners. I totally agree. But
Right.
this is where I don't agree because you will have homeowners that have these houses that want to sell these houses, right? And they
Hmm.
want to raise the price. They might ask for 213,000 for the house. But
Hmm.
bro, like you didn't put no work into this house. Like this
Right.
house is not worth 213,000. Like
Right.
where's the remodeling and like what are you adding? You know what I'm saying? So you setting a price, you set this price that you want to sell your house for, but is your house really worth it? You get what I'm saying for that price? Because
Right.
I didn't ran into that problem. You want 213,000 for this house, but like you have not done no work in it. It's this stuff seems like it still got stuff from the 1980s in it. The
Right.
tiles is old. You get where I'm coming from?
I
But
do.
you asking for this price? Like, no. So my question for you would be on that end, right? So, you buy houses, you got your Airbnbs, or whatever the case might be.
Hmm.
But do you go, if I have a house inspector, a home inspector come in there and inspect the houses, or I'm getting VA loans, which, if you get the VA loan, sometimes VA is not going to sign off if it's not
Absolutely not. You're
up to
right.
par. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
So,
100%.
so I feel like, don't you think it should be a cap or it should be some kind of regulation and rule to where these homeowners that are selling these houses and setting these prices where they can be like Trump said, I don't want to lower it, I want to higher it. But bro, this house ain't worth that for a person that's trying to buy their first single on family home or stuff like that. What do you think that we can do to stop that? Because I'm seeing that go on right now because we in the process of trying to buy a house.
Right. Well, so let me just interject something real quick. So one thing I will explain to you is that there is a thing called supply and demand.
Mhm.
So when you have a low supply of houses and a high, a lot of people who want to purchase, then that dictates what homeowners are willing to do to the house to sell it. Okay. So if, like, let's just say right now in your area, they built 20% more homes than people were willing to buy, the prices would go down. No matter if the prices would drastically drop, because if people want to move those homes, they know that they have to bring the price down. But when you got way more people who want to buy versus people who want to sell, then the people who are selling is kind of like what they call it, like a bear market. It's more people, like, I'll give you an example. Myself, if I wanted to sell one of my properties and and I needed that money, but the economy was bad, then I would lower the price just to move it. But if I know there's 10 people trying to buy that same condo, then I'm going to sell it as high a price as I can. And that's kind of like where you at right now. You're in a position where it's probably not a lot of supply out there. And so the homeowners are not willing to spend, $20,000 or 15,000 to do the upgrades that you might say, I'm not buying this house with, dated, you know, kitchen cabinets or dated bathrooms or whatever. It's kind of like what the market dictates. And it's different in different regions. So you might be in a region where, you might, be in an area where it's not a lot of supply, but other areas there may be a lot of supply because the economy in your region dictates a lot of the housing values.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna talk about my region then, since you broke it down like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I know we talking about condos, we talking about everything else, but
right.
okay. So let's talk about my region, right? Now
Okay.
I live in a decent region. And everybody love, I ain't gonna say everybody loves Dothan, but lots of people come to Dothan. The price of everything is low, so it's kind of like retirement. People from the north come down, right? But
Right.
it's certain areas to where, like, okay, you got the areas in this region broken down to different sectors, different neighborhoods, communities. You know who the high end roles at because they're in these
Mhm.
communities, in these sectors. You get what I'm saying? Then you got the middle class over here, and then people trying to move up to the middle class and to the subdivisions, right? But
Right.
like my thing is, these prices that set for these neighborhoods, these houses sit for so long because
Mhm.
people don't want to move into these neighborhoods because of certain, it might be certain. I'm not saying it's crime, but it is what it is. You know how
It's what it
where the
is.
world is right
Gentrification.
now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not going to just go deep into that,
Right.
but I would say like, yo, though, at the same time, you asking for 213
Hmm.
and you haven't done nothing and you want me to buy it for 213, then I have to put 50, 60,000. I might as well just get my own house built. I might as well buy some land. You get what I'm saying? At this
I
point,
agree.
You,
I agree
you
with
because
that.
have, but
I,
you have to be careful with that.
I'm here to listen, but what I see and what I've been going through and looking at these houses, I just feel like, yo, it needs to be some rule and regulation, bro. Like and it need to be a cap on. I'm not saying put a cap on how much you can sell your house for, but if you haven't done nothing to this house and you just setting a ridiculous price, that's
Mhm.
crazy. I just got a text message for this house that I've been wanting for so long, growing up, looking at. I said I want the house. I
Mhm.
just got a text message. Hey, we want 162,000, and these people went in there and remodeled that house and to top and bottom and gutter and did
Mhm.
the right thing. So if I can catch it for 162,000 right now, I need to go ahead and do it. Compared to where you trying to sell me a house for 213 when you ain't done nothing, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I definitely understand, but I'm gonna tell you something that you probably I don't know, especially if you not haven't been in the housing market a lot.
I haven't.
Sometimes you can buy a brand new house
That's what I
that's
was about to say.
crap. Okay,
Yeah,
they build them, and
yeah.
I listen.
It's
When
funny you
every
say that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been, throughout my life, I've had opportunities to buy houses, places, and one thing that I noticed that a lot of these areas where
Develop.
that you see a neighborhood where they just built it up real fast,
Mhm.
all these people went in there, they built this community, 100 units, and you walk in some of them places, it's like you paying twice as much as an old house.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're pieces of crap. Okay,
Yep.
I mean the work is horrible, and I'm gonna tell you right now. So I'll tell most people, don't if you find a house that's an older home that you have to maybe have to remodel to get it up to speed, do it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Yeah.
structurally it's better. Okay. My house that I live in right now, me and my wife, this house was dated when we bought it, and we remodeled this whole house, and it was still way less than if we would have bought a newer house that was built with cheaper materials, that was built with less care, because they back in the day when they built homes, it was with care. It was a real craft into building homes. The
Wow.
masonries, the people who laid the brick, the people who built the frame the homes, they really cared about building these homes quality wise. So I wouldn't be so, and I understand what you're talking about. You're talking about basically homes that are not worth the price in your mind, but don't be so. Think about it. if you can find a house that's affordable and you willing to put some sweat equity in to it, meaning that you're willing to take that from, a place that's maybe not so nice and make it nice, do it. Because right now housing prices are not, even if they drop some, they're not going to drop, so they're not going to drop
Dramatically.
dramatically. Thank you. They're
Yeah.
not going to drop dramatically because we're just not in that stage in our economy. Now
No.
we can get there, but it ain't right now. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if y'all have 401ks or not, but my 401k has
Yeah.
shot up because the stock market is booming.
It is.
Yeah.
Even though people are
Yeah.
struggling, people
Yeah.
can't buy homes, but the stock market is booming. So I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
don't if you find a nice place that you might have to put a little work into, don't fret about it. Think about it because I redid all the floors in my house.
Yeah.
I gutted my own kitchen because we went to a place. Have you ever been to one of those home shows where they have like all these vendors that
Yeah. Home
tell you that they try to sell you, we
Yeah.
can put a new kitchen in your house or whatever.
Mhm.
The first time we went to one, they wanted $60,000 to redo my kitchen.
You do
I
that
did
yourself.
I did it myself.
You do it yourself.
And if you seen my kitchen, you would be like,
I
wow.
know. I think yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
You
My
were
sign
working
failed.
on it and
You seen my kitchen. I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
my kitchen myself
Yeah.
because this is the thing about housing. There are certain things that you definitely should have a professional do, but it's certain things we all are men. We all been out here working our butts off most of our life. We can go and lay a floor.
We can figure
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah. And
We
we
can
did it
gut,
at my father's house. Me and
yeah,
my
we
dad
could
did it
gut a
at his house.
kitchen and put new cabinets in. You know what I'm saying? It's like so housing is one of those things where you kind of have to pick and choose what you're willing to pay somebody to do and what you're willing to do yourself to save that money that dictates in our economy. Like I said, getting a brand new house isn't for me. And from in my experience, is not the move unless you
Yeah.
unless you're the person that build it from the ground up and you going in there and inspecting and making sure that stuff is right and you know what you're looking at. You know what I
You
mean?
know, yeah.
And,
It's crazy
oh, my
because
bad.
no, you straight because I was scrolling on social media 2 nights ago and I saw this guy in a brand new development area, brand new houses that some of them are being built at the same time. He gets out, he goes around and he's looking at the wood and he's like, yo, this is like particle board. He said
Mm,
all they're gonna do is just wrap siding around it, whatever type of siding, and they're gonna sell it for 200 and some $1,000. And these people don't even know what they're getting themselves into long term because they're just so excited to
Get,
purchase a
yeah.
home. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, he said this is piss poor material. To me, that's highway robbery. But if you don't know it, you're not educated, then you fall for stuff like that. So I agree with you, Tony. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? These older houses and stuff, they are built different. My
Yeah.
grandmama house, it's still standing strong. But I can go
Yeah.
to a new development down the street. They put up these houses in like a week. Something's wrong with that.
yeah, it
So
ain't
And,
supposed to
it's a
be
business.
that
Yeah.
and let me pick it back off of both of y'all real quick before we move on. You know what I'm saying? Because this is very interesting, and I'm glad we're having this show today, and that y'all let
Mhm.
me be a part of it. Um, Tony, back to what you were saying. I'm gonna come back to you, Tavia, the point you just made too as well. But to you, Tony, first. Now, I totally agree with these older houses. If you can get them at a good price, and you can go in
Mhm.
there and you can go in there and gut it, remodel it, and make it better. I mean, that's good for you to own that house. I'm totally with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't deny that. I'm
Right.
looking at certain houses and properties. I'm more into land. You get what I'm saying? If I can
Mhm.
purchase some land, then
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. If
Mhm.
it's a lot here or a lot there, I got it. I got ownership. I just pay the property
right.
taxes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
So
love it.
yeah,
Yes,
so I'm
sir.
with that. I'm with you on that, right? Um, but what I would say, like, okay, just like I just told you a while ago, that 213,000 something house that you asking for, and then you haven't done nothing. I would
Mhm.
rather go take this 162,000 house that I know
Mhm.
they went in there and remodeled it, right?
Mhm.
They went in there and remodeled it. the brick outside is nice. The yards outside is nice. I didn't
Mhm.
cut this yard. I've been wanting this house for a minute. If I got the
Mhm.
opportunity to buy it, I would buy that house at 162 with a single
Right.
family home, 3 bedroom, 2 baths, and add on. I got an extra bay room or something like that. I would add
Mhm.
on because now that's this. All right. Me paying 213,000 plus, I might have to pay that down payment compared to I'm paying 162,000.
Mhm.
I can have some extra money to put into the 162,000 compared to where I have to put more money into that 213,000 that you
No,
didn't
I
do.
agree with you.
You
I
get what I'm
agree.
saying?
No,
Like,
absolutely. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you can find those gems out there, you got to jump on them. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So us talking about purchasing homes and what it takes to purchase a home, that is a big consideration. Price versus what you're getting out of it. I mean, I would never deny that that's not a tremendous consideration. Um, but I will say this: no matter what home you purchase, it is a financial responsibility that a lot of people
yeah,
don't understand.
yeah.
There's a lot that goes behind it. I mean, it's great because nobody can tell you how to, how to what to do to it. How,
Right.
however, there's a lot of responsibility as far as maintenance and stuff like that. So I would, encourage anybody who's in the housing market to think about those things as well. So
And I'm glad you responded that way. And Tavy, back to what you saying, and you and Tony was talking about. I totally agree, man. I had a dude that used to cut his yard, right? And he told me, yeah, I like the house, but I think I want to get something new. I think when they built that development, like you say, it didn't take about a week or two, about a month at that to build this, and they rushing to put these developments up to where they're not making sure it's up to par and up to standards. You get what I'm saying? You just brought this new house, but you got a house leak because they rushed it. You
that's
know what I'm
it right
saying?
there.
Like
Water
that's
leak.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
So I'm
I
with
mean,
you.
it'll pass inspection. Don't get me wrong, but the inspectors don't care about this. It's all about money, right?
that's right.
And saving, and hate to say it, with these tariffs that Trump has issued on these other countries and stuff like that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of developers bringing in cheap material. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
Right.
To get
With
that's
the
these
right.
results that
tariffs,
they're making.
100%.
The tariffs is hurting a lot of things. When it comes down to our structure,
hey,
here in
so
the states.
would you saying that? Would you say buy an older home
I
compared to
I
buying a
recommend
I
it.
newer
think,
home?
I
yeah,
recommend it. I mean, I
yeah.
don't.
I think, you said, yeah, Tony. You
I said
recommend it, right?
as Myra said, I ain't gonna hold you. I would buy
Yeah,
an older home if I could.
yeah,
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I
yeah.
yeah,
would. If
yeah.
it's as long as it's like you said, Myron, as long as it has the land that you want, if you want to expand, you can expand because that's something you can do over time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Build so you can get a like you said, you get a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's got a nice, acre, 2 acres. However, I don't know what because I don't know the housing market in Alabama, but if I mean you make it get a couple of acres and you can build your dream home behind your original home at some point in your life.
There
You know
you
what I
go.
mean? It's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So let me ask you, and I know we got to move on and we can
uh-huh,
talk all day. You know what I'm saying? This is a discussion that we can have all day because I'm
right,
actually going through it and there's so many questions and gems that I know y'all can give me. You know
right.
what I mean? So um let me ask you, like, is there a certain like how do they go off of these prices that they say? Is it like based off the square feet and the minute
Well,
and everything you getting? Like,
I'll
you
tell
know what I'm
you.
saying?
It's called they have a term called comps. So
Okay.
comp
Say that
is
again. What
it's
did you?
called comps, like competition,
Okay.
but it's just called comps. And what it
Yeah.
what it is that they price homes based on the homes around it and what they sold for. So like let's just say you said you find a 3 bedroom house, that's about let's say 1,500 square feet, 1,200 square feet, 2,000 square feet. You find a house in a neighborhood of that size, right? What
Mm-hmm.
happens is that when they put a value on their house, they determine that price based on all the properties around it. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll look at the house that you want to buy and they'll say, okay, So let's just say they want $250,000 for the house that you want. Your real estate agent is going to go. They're going to pull up what's called comps for all the homes that sold in the last like 90 days. Usually it's 6 months to 90 days. They're going to look at all the homes around their house and look at those prices, and then they're going to say to you, based on the amenities that you have in your house, either you paying too much or you not paying, or you getting a good deal. That's how it's based. It's not like a random number that when people come up with home prices, it's not random. There is a calculation that's done, because it's just like you don't want to pay $300,000 in $100,000 neighborhood, because that means if you try to sell the house, you'll never be able to sell it.
Is it like an overall census is what you're saying?
Yeah, they know. Your real estate agent knows that when you buy a home, whether you paying market value or you overpaying or underpaying, and they're not gonna stop you, because they're gonna get their commission no matter what. Oh. But if they're your friends, like the real estate agents that I deal with, we bought a lot of properties from them, with them, so they tell us the truth, and they'll go the extra mile to make sure that we understand what we're getting ourselves into, whether it's good or bad. So it's important. And when we get later and we talk about the 10 things, that's something that I'm going to emphasize. But
But you know what's so crazy? I got to stop. After this, I ain't asking no more questions till we get to the top 10 things.
Okay.
But you know, with you saying that, and Tavy, you saying it's a censor, and Tony, you breaking it down, like you're not going to sell a house for 200 something thousand in 100 something thousand neighborhood, right? And what you saying that is confusing me with the purchase I'm trying to do, because where that 213,000 house is at, and where we're located at, and that house is right up the street from my parents' house, I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, this is by the medical center, this is by the medical school, and you selling this house over here for 162. And that's a steal compared to that neighborhood to where it's a 213. Like, no, bro. Like, I
you know what you should do, and I'm gonna tell you, and I will recommend this. You have to actually find out, because they have. Have you ever heard of Zillow before?
Zillow. Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of websites, in Redfin, Zillow, and there's a couple other ones where you can actually look and see what the house sold for in the past.
And that's what we've been doing.
And what the property value is currently, or what they recommend the value of that house should be, because these big companies, that's all they do is they know what the market is in your region, and because they have all the data, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is sometimes if somebody's offering you a home for $162,000 that's been remodeled, it may be because they bought it for $10,000.
Yeah.
So they making, you see what I'm saying? After they pay commission, they making 100,000. I mean 120, 140,000. So it all depends on what they paid for it. Because because I'm gonna tell you, man, it's all math, bro. It's all math.
Okay. But you know what? I'd rather, if you pay $10,000, I can get it for 162. I know it's messed up, but I'd rather pay the 162.
Yeah, because you would never know.
213 that you haven't done nothing with it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just like home builders, they not when they sell you a brand new house for $400,000, they didn't pay $400,000.
No,
they might have paid $200,000, and they're gonna make a $200,000 profit depending on
the market. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not. That's not the exact numbers. I'm just giving you an idea that there's margins to be made. There's money to be made in building homes if you get your materials at the right price. You know what I'm saying. You get the labor at the right price. There's money to be made. So you can't. But what I was saying to you earlier about comps, that is how the standard works. That is how a real estate market works when it comes to understanding the value of a home. So if you find something that is like literally what you're looking for, and you got the money, you got to jump on it, because opportunities flee. You know what I'm saying? You.
That's why I want the 162.
Small, yeah. If you can do it,
I want the 162, Tony.
Tony,
I want the 162.
Make it happen. That's what I say.
Okay, I
But,
got no more questions, bro.
but look, before we jump into the top 10 things that you need to do before purchasing a home, I want you to give the audience why you stepped into the real estate game.
All right,
Like
this is
what was your first moment, and kind of take us back to how you transitioned from being a
I'm gonna
homeowner
tell
to
you.
being an Airbnb host.
Yeah, so this and I'm gonna try to make it as quickly as possible. So what happened was is I'm gonna start with the one me and my wife when we got married, we bought a house and we lived there for 11 years. Okay, it was brand new, and we got it on a I call it a discount because we bought it through the VA, and the original seller he built it from the ground up. He wanted 300,000 for it, right? But when the VA got hold of it, and not mind you, this is a brand new house. They said, "Oh no, you cannot. If you want the Porters to buy that house, you got to lower the price because they weren't having it because of the comps. The neighborhood that it was in was
Yeah.
didn't dictate 300,000. So we ended up getting that house for like 252,000, right? And 11 years later, when we sold it for 312,000.
You know
Okay.
what? I'm about to
It's
tell
called
you,
equity,
crime
baby.
going around here. They breaking their houses, bro.
It's called equity. That's
It's,
what
it's,
it's called. Paying that mortgage payment, value of that house going up. When it's time to sell, all the houses around you values have gone up, and they match it up, and we got it for that price. And what we did
that
after
is
we paid our real estate agent, we rented we got a house. We rented a house because we was originally gonna move to Florida, but we changed our mind. But in the process of that, my wife
Y'all gonna
was
move the
like,
dirt roads and nothing but deal.
no, we was like, hey
Nah,
man,
I just messing with you. Hey, no, I
what's
didn't know
up?
that's North Florida. I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, we was gonna
yeah.
actually go to Jacksonville, but so what happened was
Okay.
is my wife was like, you know, let's look at some Airbnbs, and I was like, Airbnb. I wasn't trying to hear it because I wasn't thinking about. We was in the clothing retail business. Me and my wife had a store and everything, but she was thinking about Airbnb, so I wasn't with it at first. But then when we was going to Jacksonville looking for a house, we stayed in an Airbnb, and it was basically it was a house that had a add-on to it. It was just
Yeah.
like they added like a bedroom, a bathroom, and a little kitchenette on it, right?
Yeah.
We stayed there. And I asked the guy, because one day I'm walking out, and he was walking out, and I asked the owner, I was like, hey man, so what's business like? He said it's great. And I said, so how often are you booked? He said every day. I said, what? He said every day. He said, except for cleaning, when they have to clean it, and then the next person comes in. And I said to myself, that's a proven business model. So that's
Yeah.
the soon as we got back to Virginia, we started looking for a house. I mean, for units. We found one in well, it's in Norfolk because I live in Chesapeake. We found one in a town called Norfolk. It was a condo. We did our whole due diligence. VA loan. I got because I'm a veteran, so I use my VA benefits, and I bought that place. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I knew it was the right thing to do. It was furnished. The guy who had it, he lived in Israel, and he sold it basically at market value. He didn't even make no real money off of it.
He just wanted it gone.
He
You
wanted
just
it
wanted
gone,
it gone.
and he sold it to us, and it was fully furnished, dog. Only thing we had to do was add a couple of ceiling fans and change some light switches, put a new AC unit in it, and that was it. And then we start Airbnb in it.
And the
That's
plant.
black excellence.
You
Black
had
excellence.
a plant, added a plant to. Hey, that's a power move. Major
Yeah,
power move.
but see, and the part that I really wanted to emphasize is that because we got equity from the first house that we had money for down payment, we had money to do everything we needed to do. Even though, and I will say, down payments for veterans is not as much as a down payment if you do a conventional loan, which means you basically come up with your whatever that 20% is or 17%, depending on what program you use. But The bottom line is owning a home brings you value in the future.
Hey,
So,
and what I know we about to go in these top 10 things.
uh-huh.
Once we go into these top 10 things after, I don't know if it's included with it, but
Mhm.
can you break down that VA loans in these
I,
top
I,
10
I, I,
things? You know what I'm saying? So people that would know that
yeah,
are veterans and stuff.
I definitely can add to that. So, James, what do you want to go into the 10 things right now, or
Well, since we already, if it doesn't slow down the flow of the show, I think this is going great. Since
okay,
we already have the banner up, we can go ahead and we can start from the top, start from the
okay,
number one. And so there we go.
okay. So, since we've been talking about home ownership, we've been talking about purchasing homes and everything like that. I wanted to break down the 10 essential things that you need to know when you purchasing a home, because if you know these things, this is like your guide to getting to where you need to be as far as getting your home. And I want to say something real quick, because before I go there, home ownership does not mean you own that house. It means you're paying a bank to live in that house until it's paid off.
Right.
Okay. But we call it home ownership because of the fact that when you do sell it, you have equity in it, which basically is money that you earn value in that home. So it is an investment. It's an investment, and that's where I want to just make sure people understand that. Because we use the term own, we really don't own it, because we have a lien holder. The bank owns it, or whoever we borrowed the money from, they own it unless we cash out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you have personal property tax like here in
Right,
Virginia.
right. So that's a whole nother conversation, but I just wanted to put that out there. But the 10 things that I recommend that you do first is first thing you want to do is check your credit score, because your credit score will dictate the interest rates that you pay. Okay. Everybody don't pay the same price. You can have the same house in three different. If you had 10 people who bought the same house, if their credit score is going to dictate what they pay per month. Okay, it's not based on anything more than your credit score. And there's
And let me ask you a question. Do you know the sweet spot, the beacon score that they're looking for?
well, it's like I say, it's different, but there is a credit score that where you get into the subprime, where if your credit score is not high enough but they still sell you the house, it's really because you really ain't in the financial position to own it, but they gonna charge you a mortgage rate where they pretty much know that you ain't gonna make that payment. They're gonna take the house and sell it to somebody else.
Okay.
It's a big game.
It's a safeguard. It's a safeguard.
It's a game. It's a game that
Yeah.
they play because they know that certain people can't afford them, but they will sell it to you anyway because they know at some point you're gonna default, and next thing you know, somebody else gonna own that home.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Have a good credit score. You gotta have a decent credit score if you want a decent interest rate. That's number
Let
one.
me ask you a question. I know you on the top 10 things,
Uh-huh.
but real quick, I was in a position where I was like 22 years old and I was approached by a real estate agent. My credit score, since we're talking about credit, my
Mhm.
credit score was below 600. I knew in my spirit that that wasn't right, and I got pre-approved, right? It
Right.
was for a balloon mortgage, a
That's right.
balloon adjustable mortgage.
Mhm.
Now, this was around the time when you had Fannie Mae,
Yeah.
that whole scam. I was about to be a part of that,
Oh
to
wow.
where I was going to start. Everything was already. I was
I'm
ready to
glad you
close and everything.
didn't, because
Yeah, I just knew someone right. I
yeah,
knew someone right. You know, they then they took advantage of people. They just wanted to have people sign up for a house and to buy
yeah.
a balloon mortgage where the mortgage would just jump up out of nowhere and you
Oh,
can't
I
even.
know people that it happened
What's
to.
a balloon mortgage? I ain't mean to cut you off because
So
I'm
it's
trying.
an
I want to learn, and for the people
yeah.
that
Explain.
don't know.
So
Yeah.
basically, what it is like, so they will give you a mortgage, right? But then they have stipulations on what they call a balloon payment, where you pay for so long and then you have to come with a whole bunch of money. And most people can't do that. Most people, if you pay, like if your rent is 1,000, you paying a mortgage that's 1,000. In 2 years, you ain't gonna have 20,000 for a balloon payment. You ain't gonna
Right.
have, because you making $1,000, and with the cost of living, you may get 1 or 2% increase. That still ain't gonna give you that 20,000. You know what I'm saying? So it was a horrible thing that back in the 2008 time.
2008,
Yeah,
2008.
that's when they were really getting over on people.
Mhm.
So but yeah, so credit is important.
Yes. Okay.
Of course, don't go in there with no 550, 99 credit score. You need
So what's the standard? Because I had to leave for a minute. So before we move on, what's the standard credit score that you would prefer a person to be at for a first time home buyer?
The FICO score, which is I would say, and I'm only speaking for me because I've always pretty much, except for when I was very young, since I've been an older person, I've maintained a decent credit score. But I would say I wouldn't even think about it if it was under 650. If your credit score under 650, you might still get approved for one, but your interest rate's gonna be jacked up, and they're gonna want you to bring a lot of money to the table. So I would say anything under 650, you need to work on getting your credit score higher.
So anything under 650, let's say if you had a 650 right there at 7, what would be the average down payment you would have to pay?
Well, I mean, most of them is 20%. So it's 20 to 20 something percent. It's different for different financial institutions, but the standards are about 20 to 25%. So that means if you do the math, if it's 100, let's do it real quick, because I just want to show you what that would be on a $162,000 house. I'm gonna pull my calculator.
While you're doing the math, guys, if y'all please like this video. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to Financial Tech Talks. Hey, listen, this is what we do here on Hustle Society Trap with Myron. Go to his channel and subscribe to Hustle Society Trap podcast as well. But yeah, so Tony, you got the number?
Yep. So if you wanted to finance a house under conventional loan, the down payment at 20% is $32,400. That's a conventional loan. So and that's what it is. That's why it's hard for people to buy homes, is because those at $162,000, you got to bring 32 grand to the table.
Yeah.
Now, see, if you're bringing that 32 grand to the table, so okay, you're getting the finance, or whatever the case with the loans. So basically, okay, you're paying that loan and that mortgage.
Absolutely.
So how much would that loan be that you paying on that house and your mortgage be? So what's the outcome of you paying the mortgage and that loan?
Well, so Myron, basically how it works is when you get approved for a bank loan, they're gonna want you to bring a down payment to the table. If you don't, like I say, if you're not but you're a vet, are you a veteran, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. So you wouldn't have to bring 32,000 to the table, because you can do a VA loan, which is only, I think it's like 3. Well, the last time I did one, it was like I had to bring 5% to the. Well, it was like the last one we did. Well, the last one we did conventional, but before that, we had to bring like 7,000 to the table.
Yeah.
And that was 7,000 on a $150,000 condo. So it was 150,000. So you might have to bring a little bit more, but it's still under 10,000.
Yeah.
You have to bring to the table. But
this is for veterans now.
Yeah.
Now, if you got separated from the military and you still get VA, that don't mean, I don't know, but that doesn't mean you might be eligible for this shit. Because if
you got a DD 214. If you've been, you know what a DD 214 is.
Yeah. I'm just trying to break it down for people, but I'm with you. Go ahead.
If you got a DD 214, which is a form that you get when you get out of the military, when you separate, as long as you got that, you can get VA benefits, and that's a part of it. It's the guaranteed loan through the VA.
So regardless, whatever your thing is,
you don't have to be active
wherever you separated. So this is new to me. So let's break it down. So for the people, wherever you separated, if it's dishonorable, this is what you tell me.
Now I don't know about dishonorable, because dishonorable.
That's why I'm trying to break it down.
Yeah,
I don't want people to go
honorable.
in there
Now
to
we
think I got
let's
AWOL and I can get VA
yeah,
high.
yeah. Let's start there. You
You
probably
get what
need
I'm
to have an
saying?
honorable discharge to get the VA benefits. And don't quote me on that because I have not looked it up. But me and my wife, we both read it. Was she just retired and I retired long? I mean, not retired. I got out long time ago. I only did 5 years, so and I still got my VA benefits. So, so my point is that I'm assuming that you probably have to have be honorably discharged, but don't quote me on that. You got to do your own research on that part.
Now, for the people, and because we talking about credit, we talking about VA, where we stand at, we're good on our VA. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
But for the people that might separate it and there might not been that serious consequences behind it, I want to know, are they still available for certain VA benefits as far as loans for houses? You know what I'm saying? It could have been something simple, but it might not been like a higher like disgrace discharge. You feel me?
Yeah. I know they have honorable, other than honorable, they have different types of discharges from the military. So I mean, again, I don't know what if you got other than honorable, or I mean, if you got less than honorable, I don't know how VA works on that. I'm sure there might be they may have arrangements and they may not. I don't know. But like I said, do your own research on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a show about this. I'm gonna have to come back on y'all show,
and
we're gonna have to break this down, because if we going through there and people looking at that, I think that would be a great show there to where we can break down stuff and show people or teach people how to go get these VA benefits, because lots of people might not know how to go about it. You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah, now
So
I will. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I will tell you this: if you use your VA benefits, your real estate agent and the bank, they know all the steps. They walk you through it. You don't really. Only thing you have to do is provide financial information like work and your DD 214 proof that you served and all that kind of stuff. But so you don't really have to. That part is kind of like the bank. They want their money, so they already know the processes that you have to go through to actually to get your VA guarantee loan. So
yeah.
So we're going on to 2.
So we're gonna go on to 2. So number 2 is set realistic budget and determine how much you want to spend. So you got how much you can afford. So I would say a good gauge is to look at what you paying in rent right now. If you comfortably paying like this, we're gonna use a easy number like $1,000 a month. If you paying $1,000 a month and you paying utilities and you comfortably can do that, then I would say you might need to find a home that's in that range mortgage wise. And they're out there. Everything is about research. You got to do your own research to get the best deals. You can't depend on other people to do it. You got to do it. You got to get out here, look at the market, talk to people. You know what I'm saying? If you know people who are in the real estate game, use the tools that we have online, but figure out what you can afford, and you got to figure out the total amount, not just the mortgage. You got to figure out utilities that you got to pay. You got to figure out maintenance. Maintenance is a part of the budget. People
forget about that part.
They think about it like renting an apartment. It ain't the same, because if something breaks in that, once you got a mortgage, you got to pay for that.
Fully responsible.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to say to yourself, can I afford if the sink got clogged, or if a pipe bust, can I afford to pay for that out of my pocket if it goes bad? That's a part of home ownership. It ain't just living there paying, your mortgage every month. It's more to it. Okay. But it's a great benefit. I'm just going to tell you, it's a great benefit. All right. Number 3, get pre-approved. So what that means is that when you want to buy a home, the banks will allow you to fill out an application, and you put all your information in there, and they'll tell you how much they approve you for. So if and that's where your credit score comes in as well, is that if you go in there and you get fill out your application for pre-approval. They'll say, based on these the information you gave us, we can give you this much for a loan, for a mortgage. It could be, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. Depend. It just depends on your credit, and it depends on your ability to pay. Because one of the things about dealing with banks, they want to know your financial life. They want to know you paid your taxes. They want to see it. It ain't just they want to see it. They not gonna take your word for it. They want to see it. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is save for the down payment. Even if you're doing VA, you still got to come with some money on closing. You still have to come with money. So it may be $5,000, it may be $7,000, it may be $10,000, but you got to come with some money, and you will know that way before a clousing date. And the closing date is the date that you go sit down with the bank, with the real estate agents, and you fill out all the paperwork that bonds you to that house. That's what the closing is. Okay. Number 5 is research the neighborhoods in the local markets. That's when we was talking about comps earlier. You want to make sure that if you're paying a mortgage, that it's somewhere that you see yourself living for 5 to 10 years or longer. Yeah. You don't want to go move into some area and be like, oh no, what did I do? They shooting every night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
my question is, how do you gauge that? I mean, you can gauge
it's easy. That is the key. Listen, let me tell you something, man. We live in the information age. You can find anything about any neighborhood through the police. They have the crime. They have crime statistics. You can always figure out the school systems. You can figure out what type of school systems they are, how they're rated. All of this is through it's freedom of all this information online. So anything that's information you can find online. You just got to know what to ask. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Number 6, decide what type of home best fits your needs. So like if you're a young person, like I would say in your 30s or your 20s, and you a first-time home buyer, don't get your dream home right away. You know what I'm saying? Start small so that you can understand what home ownership is about, and make sure it's enough room again for the 5 or 10 year span or longer. But just make sure that it's something that once you buy it, you don't have buyer's remorse. You don't go, oh my God, why did I buy this? It's not don't have a big enough backyard. It can't fit my truck and my trailer. It can't, whatever you got going on. You want to make sure that you buy something that fits your existing needs. Okay. Right. Number 7, hire a knowledgeable real estate agent. And I'll tell anybody, don't just pick the first real estate agent. Ask questions. Ask them about how accessible they are. Like, because a lot of purchasing a home is research. You got to go out here and look at places. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a real estate agent that understands that they don't get paid until you buy that house. But they have to be willing to get out their butts and go that you say that you're interested in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying? Because you got real estate agents that will, they want you to sign, a contract, and then they drag their feet when you say you found a house that you want to look at, because they can get access to any home that's on, available for purchase. They have the ability to get access to keys to get into those homes. So you want to make sure you find one. And I would say do it through recommendation. If you know somebody who already just bought a home or has bought homes in the past, and they have a real estate agent they can recommend that was reliable, that gave them the information they needed, that's where you need to go with if you find someone like that. All right. Number 8 is attend open houses and schedule private showings, and that goes along with the real estate agent. You want to Myron, like if you use Zillow, you go on there, you find, let's say you type in, and I love the searches on Zillow, because you could type in, hey, I'm looking for, and you can do it by region. That's why I love it too. You can actually put in whatever town you live in, 3-bedroom, 1-car garage, 2-car garage, whatever you want, and it'll pull up all the homes that fit that criteria that you search for, or we call it queries in the technical world. You can figure out what you want through that.
Got you.
All right, and then number 8 is
Number 9.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Number 9 is compare mortgage rates and loan options. Again, as a home buyer, that's on you as a home buyer to do your due diligence, get the best deal. And I know Myron, he already make me feel like he gonna get the best deal he can get.
You damn right.
He ain't gonna be BSing around about that. So that's what it's about.
I don't mind putting money into the house, but it's gonna be beneficial for me how I do it. I'm not about to fall into that. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I think in these, like, I'm not saying not sell the house that you brought for a certain price that you want, but what I'm saying is at least make it worth the price that I'm paying, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather buy an old house and remodel that house and gut that house and do it like that. But I'm not about to no.
Not at no over exorbitant price. I got you.
Right.
I got you. All right. And the last thing I recommend is plan for ongoing home ownership and cost of maintenance. So, and I spoke about that earlier. Just make sure that whatever you buy, you don't want to buy something that's too big for you, meaning because, like I said, the bigger they are, the more they cost to repair, like AC units, heating and cooling. Unless you like me and you don't mind pulling out the YouTube and figuring it out, because I fixed 2 of my AC units because they broke in 2 different units. I was like, because a lot of times the things that break are things that you can repair yourself.
It might be something simple,
right? And it might be a condenser, it might be a motor. Like stuff. I'm a technician. If I can't replace a motor, something wrong.
Something wrong. Yeah, exactly.
It's an electric motor.
I can't replace a motor. I ain't about to play with it.
It's an electric motor. It's got 3 wires on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't play with wires and electricity.
I understand. I'm saying for us who
I'm with you.
Well, I mean, primarily we deal in low voltage, but I mean a little high voltage. And like I said, if you're scared, don't do it. If you can't look at the YouTube video and say I can make this happen, or you can't call a friend that can come over there and help you, don't do it, because I'm not trying to recommend nobody get shot. Yeah. Okay, especially if you don't understand the power of electricity, don't do it. But I will say, for most Americans, if you just do your due diligence, which means make sure you have a sufficient down payment, make sure you understand that your credit score is important, make sure that you are patient, because it may take, like if you just, let's say you decide today, I'm going to buy a house. You might look at the market and say, well, right now is just not a good time, but you save the money. So when it is a good time, you got the money, you don't have to come up with the down payment. And that's just the way it works in America. You know what I'm saying? Other places it's different, but here you got to come most of the time with some money on the table. You know, so
listen, y'all, that's awesome, man. A lot of nuggets, a lot of information Tony just put out there, y'all. For y'all that are interested in owning a home or running an Airbnb business. You know, Tony, my question, and I don't know if you have one, Myron, after this, but
no, I don't got nothing after this because I got the Kaylee play basketball game. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, my question is for the ones that are interested after hearing this amazing interview and this information. Owning an Airbnb is like it's a hobby, but when you own a few of them, it's like a business. So so what did you do to scale, and was it an easy transition in scaling?
I would say it was about being prepared. So like me and my wife, we one thing, and I'm gonna tell you, anybody who has a girlfriend or a wife that's long situation, have meetings, talk about what you want to do in your life, what you want to build. Because me and my wife, we have meetings, and one of our meetings is like, what do we want to do to own something? So we figured out through conversation, okay, she's a veteran, I'm a veteran. So we could use our benefits. I used my benefits to buy one property. She used her benefits to buy another property. And then we use our combined money that we had to buy
Income.
to do the conventional loan to get the next property. So it's about whatever your situation is, just planning it out and just working that plan. That's it. Anybody
Yeah.
can do it if you work the plan and you understand the rules to the way it works to buy a home. Anybody can do it. I don't want to hear. I hear people who paying so much money to live in an apartment when they could actually be paying a mortgage, building equity, because equity matters in the future. It's a long game. It's not a short game, people. It's a long game. You gotta pay into the system, build a value in your home, because you may want to just borrow against it to start a business. You may want to borrow against it to go on an expensive trip. You may want to borrow against it to send your kids to college. You may want to sell. You may want to sell so that you can get that bag, so you can buy your own properties.
Yeah, so basically what Tony's saying in the hustle, I know this is a financial tech talk show, you know what I'm saying?
But it is a hustle,
guys.
baby.
But so for the people that's watching me on my side with the Hustle Society Trap podcast that's following financial tech talk, that doesn't mean to go get somebody to invest in Jordans and scat packs. You know what I'm saying? hey, I know I'm tripping right now, but hey, get somebody that's gonna balance you out, and I think that's a balance you and your wife have, Tony. Having those team and partnership and family meetings mean a lot, and I think we strayed away from that because now you don't have that balance, or you don't have that structure that y'all trying to build together. You know what I'm saying? That's just like my old lady's telling me, yo, we need to come down with a budget sheet. You know what I'm saying? Where's our graph at where we trying to maneuver and grow together? If y'all not trying to do that, y'all gonna you wasting time. In my eyes, this is me on my side. You wasting time in my eyes, and I think it's right now. If you're 30 or you're 20, prepare, man, and you drop some jewels today, Tony. I'm not even gonna hold you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to you, man.
Experience is everything, people, and that's all. And that's all I'm saying is just. But we all can do it, and that's what I came from nothing. I mean, if you knew my story, and I'm sure I talked to James the other day, and I was like, okay, he understands. We when you ain't got nothing, you can build something. That's the best thing about not having nothing is you can build something.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's what I'll say. Just work the plan, people. Work the plan.
Listen, guys, hopefully y'all found value into this. This is amazing. I appreciate all the information that you're going to share with the audience, Tony. And may God continue to bless you and your successful business. And hopefully you guys can get a lot out of this episode. Before we head on out, man, y'all got anything you want to say? Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I really want to sit back and say, man, this started 3 years ago with Hustle Society Trap Podcast, man. This started in a room. We went to a building. I've been putting out this work. I've been coming to Virginia telling people about the podcast, and me and Tavy talked. And Tavy connected me with lots of key people behind the scenes. You, Tony, somebody else, if I ain't mistaken, or was it Tony? I can't remember, man. But
Jerome.
yeah, Tyrone. But this is seed to where we can just come off the Hustle Society Trap podcast to see the financial TED Talk take form, to see the Porterhouse doing what it's doing, to see the Peak Sports transitioning into a new platform from the 757 Sports Channel, to seeing the Digital Trap House this transform. This to see the whole team winning is a blessing in disguise. I'm proud of y'all guys, man. Keep it up. You get what I'm saying? And this for the people that's listening and watching this show and been following this platform for some time, man. Hey, follow these guys, man. They gonna be putting out this work, man. They in the studio. You get what I'm saying? They being creative with it. They gonna break it down. I mean, it's just not financial tech talk all the time. I mean, you got sports. I mean, we a jack of all trades over here. And what I want to say to y'all guys, and people always come to me say, "Hustle, you got it. You making a movement. You trying to build." But it really hit me now just to see my team really winning and putting that information out there that's beneficial for guys. And I want to say before I hop off of this show, because y'all know I'm a family guy. I'm a dad. I'm a father. You know, I got a basketball game to go make. But yo, I'm impressed, yo. I'm happy for y'all guys, man. It's a true honor, bro. It's a true honor. And yeah, it finally hit me now, Tavy. It finally hit me. It finally
Yeah,
hit me to see
yeah,
everybody growing, man.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say.
Hey man, that's for real, man. It's just so happened how I met Tony. We can go behind this. We can talk about that behind the scenes, but
Yeah, yeah,
this is,
yeah,
this ain't by accident. You know what I'm saying? And
Not by
so,
yeah.
accident. Definitely not by accident, for
not by
sure.
accident. Tony, what you got to say before we hop off, bro?
Hey man, I think I said it all, man. I just want people to believe in it, believe in that they can do. We all can do the same things. We gotta be willing to try. And if I say anything to anybody, just be willing to try and understand that there's a system out here that you have to follow in order to get the things you want. It don't matter if you're original or you follow somebody else's blueprint. There is a system, so just follow that system. That's
And,
it.
and I want to say, man, shout out to everybody that's joining this podcast. We got another show tonight that we're about to do. I got Honey Mommy coming in from Philly, man. She's a 16-year-old artist. She raps, she sings, she does ballerina. She's a jack of all trades, man. And I just want y'all guys to tune into that show. I know her people that her following is gonna tune in to it tonight too, man. Tony, I don't stop, bro. I
I know.
hey,
I
I got
see. Dude, that
I
hustle
got
for real.
I I got 3 platforms that doing shows tonight, man, that I'm trying to stay consistent with and put out there for everybody, man. But yeah, we got some stuff going on. So hey man, find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and stuff like that. But I'm telling y'all guys tonight, I just got the information. Tune in tonight at 9, Tavy. I don't know if you're gonna be available. We're gonna chop it up after all this and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
But we got another show tonight. I think people are gonna be interested in that show. So make sure y'all stay tuned in for that show. Make sure y'all stay tuned for this show to drop. And then we got Digital Trap Houses coming too as well. Tony, I need you to start doing some filmmaking of your construction of these Airbnbs and
Listen,
showing them, you know what I'm saying? Walk with me through my
look,
Do
Airbnb.
his
You
that.
feel
handiwork
me?
is fire. His
I,
handiwork is fire,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
yeah.
Totally ain't no slouch, man. So
No, I
he the
ain't
jack of
saying it
all
is.
trades.
I'm just saying,
He's the
like,
jack
yo,
of
yo,
all trades for
let's get
sure.
some footage of that. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah.
but guys, I'm gonna let y'all handle it, but I'm gonna stay on, for a little bit. But I do gotta go, guys, for these basketball games. I got 2 to make today. But yeah, that's all my shout outs, man.
That's what's up. Like, comment, subscribe to the Financial Tech Talks. It's been a blessing, y'all. Shoot, and we'll check y'all later. All right, peace.
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 Yo, fire. That was fire, Tony.
All
That was
right.